Hey, everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about inspection reports and what to expect on your inspection report. So, after your inspection, usually that evening, probably sometime late in the evening, a lot of times we don't look for these until the next morning. You're going to get your inspection report, and it's going to be dependent upon the inspector. It could be a paper report, could be a digital report. It's going to be somewhere between probably 15 to 60 pages. Some of the people that we use on a regular basis, their digital reports are about 60 pages because they actually include a place and time picture of every angle of just about every room. I mean, they take a lot of pictures and put them in at the end. That way they can document everything that went on. When you get your inspection report, like I said, most of the ones that we deal with, they're going to have some kind of summary in the beginning of the report. And that summary is going to give you like the high level items. These are the things that are probably the most wrong or the most serious and the things that you should be looking to get fixed. Typical things that we'll see on here are pretty much anything electric, unless it's just like a reverse polarity or something simple. We're not going to see like windows that are broken on here or anything, unless it's like smashed in, which of course you would have already know. But I mean, like windows that won't stay up or something like that. We're going to see problems with the breaker. We're going to see problems with water intrusion, whether that be in the roof or the basement. And just really some of the more high dollar ticket items. If an appliance doesn't work at all or something like that, that's typically going to be in a high level summary. And then you're going to see in the rest of the report every little thing that's wrong. And again, this is a moment in time. Things do break, and sometimes people get into their house and 3-4 months later, they might find that there's something else that doesn't work or something like that. And a lot of times they get mad at the inspector because they didn't find it. Sometimes they might miss something. That definitely can happen. But most times it's that, sometimes things break and sometimes things stop working. So anyway, moving on, how do we keep from getting disappointed with our inspection report? And it all starts while you're looking at the house. While you were out looking at the house, you should be on the lookout for some of these things that might be problems. So let's look for some of the high ticket items. Okay. Arguably, one of these guys is the highest ticket item, either the roof or the HVAC. Depends on the size of the house, obviously, and how many HVACs you have and stuff like that. We have a large house, a huge roof, but we have 2 HVACs. So if one of them went down, we'd only be fixing one of them at a time. So I would say our roof at our place is probably the most expensive cost. So you definitely want to have your inspector, if at all possible within safety parameters, get up on the roof and check it out. They're going to be able to tell a lot more from the roof by being on it than looking down on it from a GoPro on a stick, which is the most terrible way I've seen. The drones can give you a pretty good indication, but the movement and everything can sometimes, and the zooming in and out can sometimes give you a distorted view of what's going on. So you definitely want, if possible, to have them up on the roof. Now, if it's snowing or if it's raining or something like that, that's just simply not going to happen. But the good news is if it is raining, then you can go on the inside of the house, which of course you're going to anyway, and you'll definitely see signs of water intrusion if there is water intrusion. So number one thing that you're going to be looking at when you get out of the car is the roof. Is it an architectural shingle roof? If it is, it's probably a newer roof because that hasn't been around for a long time. And those typically can last like 25 to 30 years. Some of them are even like 40 to 50 year rated. So that's a good thing. Even 3-tab, the normal 3-tab shingle roofs, if as long as it's not old, those can last up to like 15 years. So you're looking for a roof that is definitely not old. Next thing is the HVAC. You can't always tell just by looking at the HVAC unless you've looked at a lot of them like we have. So when you're out there just looking at 4 or 5 houses or even 10 houses, you don't always have enough to compare. So what you can do is grab this little guy and take a picture of the little plate that's on the side of the HVAC. And then when you get back home, or even while you're driving the car or something like that, as long as you're not the one driving, you can look up, if it's like a Lennox, you can plug in that serial number and it'll tell you what year it was made. Another thing you can do, if it's not running, you can pull out the filter. You can look inside. You can see how cruddy this thing is and what kind of shape it's in. Roofs can cost anywhere from like $5,000 to $20,000, depending upon style and what you're getting on it and everything, and the size of the house. An HVAC can cost anywhere, just for the outside unit, the compressor, maybe like $2,000 to replace the AC unit, all the way up to, $10,000, $15,000 if you're looking at like a very big unit that controls everything with installation and everything. So those are your two major costs. Other things that you need to keep an eye out for, not going to open all the windows and run all the water and stuff like that, but it doesn't hurt to go to the sink or maybe a bathroom or something like that. Maybe a bathroom that looks like it's slightly less used, and run like the tub for like 2 minutes. Run the tub for 2 minutes and then let it drain and see if it drains slow. A slow drain could be the cause of something bigger. Okay. Also, with the electric, you're not going to be testing the electric. Your agent's not going to be testing the electric. So you just want to make sure that the electric is indeed working. They make, and you can get them at Home Depot, like the little testers, and you can just test them a little bit. But you should be looking for three plugs in your outlet so that there is a ground. If you only have two, then you definitely have an older outlet. And there's probably a lot of other older electricity running through the house as well. Your panel, your service panel, does it look like it's pretty new? Does it have 200 amps in it? Is it going to meet your needs with all of the, stuff you've got going on in your house? The last things that you really want to look for is signs of water intrusion. You want to look around, the edges of the walls. You want to look in bathrooms, closets, etc., and look around the edges of the walls to see if there's any signs of water intrusion. You might even want to peek your head up in the attic, and you definitely want to research the basement. Go around and look and see if you see pools that have been there previously, or signs of mop marks or something like that from where they've been mopping up water, stains on the side of the walls, stuff like that. If the basement is underground and the steps come down, is there a well at the bottom of it? Does that drain to a sump pump? Is the sump pump working? If you lift up on the the little the plunger that's in the sump pump, does the sump pump start draining out the water? How much water is going on a regular basis? Is there a battery backup? These are some of the things. Oh, and last but not least, when you're at the house and like this is the house, is the water draining away from the house, or is it draining towards the house? If it's draining towards the house, you are going to have problems with water intrusion. It's just a matter of how can you properly control it. So these are some of the things. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming, but these are some of the things that you should be looking at as you go into every house, because these things will help you save some time with not getting a home inspection and then being sadly disappointed. So pay attention to this stuff. Hope this helps you. And we're going to be talking more about inspection reports and what they look like and stuff like that in the future as well. Have a great one.